Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj of the Everyday Fan Sports. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Matty Weir, the senior tight end on the Ramsey High School varsity football team. Once again, Matty, thank you so much again for taking some time out to speak with me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. It's happy to be here and answer some of your questions.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Maddie, it's an outstanding season. It said for Ramsey High School football. I mean, 9-1. It said you guys went undefeated during the regular season, first
Mhm.
time since 1982. 6-0 in the Super Football Conference National Blue. You've had some time now to just kick back and reflect on just what you guys were able to accomplish. I'm just wondering what comes to your mind, Maddie.
Just like the camaraderie we built. It was always like, oh, everyone's like kids that like for me, it's a lot of my friends and like families like, oh, like you're worried about like your stats for college and some of that since I'm trying to play at the next level. I'm like, nah, it's not it. Like we're trying to win games and just a team first motto for like all the kids. It's really special and that definitely helped along with our great coaching staff. Like tipped hats off to them. They've changed our program like around for the better. Like before Coach Barry came in, we were 4-6. We were always like we'd either sneak into states or just be like we'd always be average, but like he preaches not being average and dominating every aspect in life and in the games. And we definitely did that this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was coming up with adjectives here, to describe this offense this year, prolific, explosive. I mean, uh, can you talk about it? I mean, I think it was 6 games or more. You guys scored 30 points or more. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys rolled this season. I mean, talk about to be a part of that type of dynamic offense.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was definitely something special to be part of that offense. We had a lot of playmakers. We had Danny
Yeah.
calling the shots and running our offense. Like he's great. Like whatever school grabs him, they're gonna get a ball player. They're gonna get an athlete. They're gonna get a great kid. We had a couple running backs that were also very good. Uh, Luca Gemma, he actually just got his first scholarship from Central Michigan.
Mhm.
Joey Liss, who is also a force to be reckoned with,
Yeah.
and we had a couple receivers and me as well, along with Joey Hunt, who makes like most outstanding catches ever. We had Noah Larino, who was a good player as well, and Justin Martone, who was
Yeah.
definitely the highlight of our offense. He'd like it was more centered around. I guess you could say centered around him. You get the ball, you make open field plays, you do everything. He's a lights out player.
Yeah, no, great points you made. I mean, how good of a feeling was that with Danny Bean? So, I mean, a dual threat quarterback not only could do it, so passing, but as well as the running game. I mean, creating a lot of havoc for opposing defenses. Just talk about some of the intangibles that Danny, said brought to the team, especially this year, Maddie.
Well, it was his first year playing. It was his first varsity season, and
Okay.
like he killed it. Like we all knew, like he could pull. He could have started like on most teams his junior year. We had a senior quarterback who was just a stud. Like he had 1,000 yard rushing,
Mhm.
but Danny just added diversity. He opened up the pass game for us a lot more. We had a lot of weapons, and he utilized all of them, say pretty equally. And even himself, like he was a weapon of himself, and he was our leader. He's my best friend. He just changes everything. He changed. He was like the reason why our offense was so successful. Also because of our line, but a
Yeah,
lot of
no, I
him.
agreed. I mean, I said I was able to speak to your teammate Tyler Larson last week. I mean, just the fact this offensive line also, again, should receive quite a bit of credit also for the job they did. In terms of protecting Danny, and then of course opening up those running lanes as well, Maddie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our offensive line. We were definitely abnormal size for Group Two.
Hmm.
Tyler and Robbie,
Yeah.
they're both above average linemen. They're very good. Robbie's going to Lafayette and Tyler's going to Bowdoin.
Hmm.
Both great schools, and they're both great kids, great players. Huge, like
Yeah.
they dwarf me, man. Like it's crazy how big they are. We have a couple other linemen I'd like to mention. Tim
Okay.
Smile, who's our center. He had a very good season. Jonathan Martinez, our guard, and fortunately we had three guards who all had experience and all played. Logan Bond was a sophomore. He's also quite big, and he's gonna definitely be an impact in the future. And Nicky Ferrara, who was also a big impact on our team, he stepped in when Robbie went down, and he did a great job.
That's wonderful. Hey, you know, what interests me is that a lot of players, you have to play two-way, you know, said both offense, defense, and I think you had to do that as well. Talk about that component as well, Matty.
Defense, it was fun playing both ways. Like it's definitely a lot, but it's not. It's something like you can do. Like playing defense, I actually play only defense my junior year.
Okay.
We had a senior tight end, and so like I kind of like it was like familiarizing the position with me last year, and this year like I felt like I definitely did much better and playing. And that's definitely something I'm missing in college, playing defense, as just like the camaraderie we had. Like we would all like nicknames for our defense, and Coach Mark, our defensive coordinator, he was definitely like a big leader, and he'd treat us equally. Like even like the offensive kids, he was always there, but for the defense, he schemed it up really well, and he just had everything planned out. And our defense, it stepped up in the later games, because at the first point we were definitely struggling, but after the Hanover Park game, we definitely found a rhythm, and we had a very good second half of the season.
That's great. I wanted to, just talk about your personal accomplishments. Second team All Bergen County, first team All Super Football Conference. I mean, you had three other teammates join you. You said not only on the All County teams, but also Super Football Conference. I mean, what does that mean, to you personally, Matty, but the rest of the team as well?
My dad said like it's something that you should be proud of. I'm very proud that I made it. It was definitely one of my goals to make All County and first team All Conference.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that one. But I'm super happy for all my players and all my teammates as well that have earned it, especially kids like Danny and Timmy Smilon, Danny made first team All Conferences. Yeah. He deserved it. And Tim Smilon, who definitely was, I guess, more under the radar, and it was his first year playing center, and he definitely earned making that honor of second team All Conference.
It's wonderful. You talk about football, the culture, the brotherhood, and 17 seniors, I think, on this team. Talk about, I'm sure it entered the back of your mind every week as you went on during the regular season, this is it. I mean, this is the final journey, but talk about senior night and just how special that was for you, your teammates, especially your family as well.
Senior night, it's bittersweet because it wasn't our last didn't want our senior night because we knew PV was gonna be a dogfight. But Lakeland, they definitely showed up though as well. But senior night was special. Just seeing like all my friends and me just setting it off not really one last time, but going together and being honored. It was definitely something special. It was definitely also a special moment for my family, my dad especially, because he was really involved with all my sports with my family, including with me and my brother. My brother is also a soccer player. He plays on the soccer team. He starts as a sophomore.
Okay.
And he cares a lot about how we do, and he was very happy. He was pretty upset. He was pretty upset that it had to end, but he's definitely happy that he got to experience that.
Yeah. Hey, talk about putting on that Ramsey Rams jersey, that number 89. What does that represent to you, Matty?
It represents a lot, but I gotta say it represents the town of Ramsey. It's definitely an honor playing for Ramsey High. Just like the history, the culture, all some of that. My dad is also a Ramsey graduate too.
Oh, wonderful.
And all of his close friends were on the football team, and he says and they all said there's nothing like it. My dad's very good friend. He played for Ramsey, I think back in '92. I think he still has the rushing record there. It's insane. And he said it's just something special. It's always an honor playing for Ramsey and representing your town and playing with your best friends that you stayed with and all that stuff like that. It was definitely an honor wearing that jersey.
No, that's outstanding. Something popped into my head, and I was thinking about it even beforehand. It's interesting in the town of Ramsey, you have two high schools. You got Ramsey High School and you got Don Bosco Prep, and to see both schools enjoy immense success this season. I'm sure for the town of Ramsey, to be on the football map, not only here in North Jersey, across the state, even the nation. I mean, it's got to be a great feeling, said, a sense of pride and community, said for the town, Matty.
Yeah, definitely. A lot, like, especially Bosco and us, like, there's always like it's like a little bit of a rivalry with us, like, because like, oh, we're the public school in that town, like they get all the better stuff than we do. Like, to be honest with you, they get all the looks, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a great season for the town of Ramsey, both Don Bosco and Ramsey. I have a couple buddies on Bosco. They all say like, oh, we had a great time, we had a great year.
Yeah.
Like, both our seasons didn't want to end the way we wanted to, but we all looked back at it and we said, wow, we represented the town of Ramsey really well.
Exactly. Okay, talk about playing home games at Ramsey High School. Friday Night Lights, I said especially, I mean, just must be a huge adrenaline rush and just electric. Talk about coming out of that, out of the school, so out of the locker room onto that field.
Well, it's definitely like, it gets the blood going, definitely.
Yeah.
But the one game like I always think about is the game when we played Week Lake on 9/11 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Is definitely like special to me, and like it was an honor to hold that American flag, especially for my dad who worked at the World Trade Center. He actually left like a couple years before, but he knew a lot of his friends there, and he was definitely like emotional to see that. And I played that game for him, and it's definitely like the greatest moment that I had this year.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's definitely poignant, especially 20th anniversary of 9/11. And it said, very, very difficult, said, it's hard to believe how much time has passed, said since then. But again, to, never forget, said what happened on I said that day. I wanted to ask you, heading into this season, especially with the senior group, were there any goals that you guys had in mind? I mean, of course, to win a state championship, but I'm just wondering, like, just personally, for all of you as a collective group, and, coming off last year with COVID, I said, and not having a full season and not being able to come back here, practice, said, with your teammates, having the coaches around, just talk about that, Matty.
We all knew, my friends and I, we all knew this was like the year for Ramsey football. We all had that because we were always so good back in the day. We never lost. Like, we only lost 2 games my entire life in Pee Wee football and all. And we knew that going in, we wanted undefeated regular season and we wanted to win states. For us, it was a little bit of states or bust mentality, but we definitely had a great season overall, and we accomplished the undefeated regular season as well.
Yeah. You talked about a head coach, Adam Weir. I mean, you look at the coaching, assistant coaches. I mean, it's a vast list there. But talk about the first day, Coach Weir last. I mean, he came in. As you said, he changed this program, changed the culture. But just talk about that first day he came in, talked to you guys as a group. Just what you remember about that.
Man, that was. We all knew coming in, like, he's our guy. Like, we've heard the stuff about what happened with Hasbrook Heights and like how he ran like the most explosive offense in the state. And then like the next time we met him, he actually brought Tommy Sweeney and Leonte Carew to talk to us. And like after that moment, we knew we had our guy, and we knew we had a staff that was willing to take the levels that we wanted to do. Yeah. And that moment right there, it's definitely like awesome to meet Tommy Sweeney. He's from Ramsey, plays in the NFL, one of the best Boston College tight ends of all time. Having Bear bring him in, it was definitely like, we knew like we're going to change the culture around, and we have our staff.
Yeah, that's great. I want to ask you quickly is also about road games. I said, those bus trips, said these past, 4 years, what those moments are. I mean, behind the scenes, that people, I mean, that you talk about developing that chemistry, that cohesiveness with your teammates. Just talk about that as well, Matty.
I honestly like the road games better than the home games. Like, you got like that band of brothers mentality. Like, you going to the road. You got no one's rooting for you besides no one's really rooting for you. And that was my favorite part of this. The bus rides, like dead silent on the way back. We went on the feet on the road, so the bus rides home were pretty good, especially the Mawa game, since they didn't have a great year this year, but normally it's like the Army Navy, like
Yeah.
every single year it's gonna be a battle, and like no matter what the records are, we throw it away because we don't like them and they don't like us. Going on the road on that game, that was something special. Just hearing the boos, like I loved it. I loved it.
That's good. That's great. I love that stuff. All right, we know it's just not about being an athlete; it's a student athlete. So that's how have you been able to again balance it out? It's time management, it's being organized, but just talk about that as well.
Yeah, I felt like I've been doing a pretty good job. Schoolwork obviously comes first. You gotta take care of that before you play.
Yeah.
But actually my grades are better in season because I have less time, so I plan better with that.
Mhm.
Just because we have a routine schedule and stuff like that, and we all know like, oh, I have this time to do homework, I have this time to relax, but during the off season right now, it's a lot easier to get work done now, I can tell you that. But the balancing part, like everyone's like, that's like definitely the hardest part, but like it's definitely manageable, I
Yeah.
have to say.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about Ramsey High School itself. Support from the school, students, athletic director Kevin Sabella, principal Dr. Michael Thumb, superintendent Dr. Matthew Murphy, director of football operations and recruiting coordinator Preston Lawyer, vice principal Ryden Estelle, and athletic trainer Laura Judge. Just talk about some of those people and what they've meant to you, here the past 4 years.
They've all been great to me. Preston, I want to talk a little about Preston.
Okay.
Preston he's definitely helped me a lot with the recruiting process. Like I want to give a little speech about him.
Sure.
He like when first we heard about this guy coming in, we were like, oh my god, like we have a recruiter that's insane. Like it's all from Bear and Sabella. Like they all like they want to like change this thing around, and they did bring Preston in, and Preston's been really good to me. He's been getting me a lot of looks. He's put Ramsey football on the map. Like he's got like never in a million years when I think Wisconsin's coming in to talk to a couple of my buddies. Like it's crazy. Like just thinking about that. Like what he put Ramsey on the map. Like with all his stuff, with all his knowledge about the recruiting process. He's got me a lot of stuff. Like he's got me a lot of looks that I probably would have never gotten without him. I'm gonna be honest. Especially and even like with support of like the superintendent, Dr. Thumb and Mr. Esdale, they've been a lot of help with us. They convince kids, oh, go to the games. And Mr. Esdale too, he'd come to our practices because he played Division I football, and he signed the practice squad, the Oath Lions, and he would come in and work with us in the defensive end stuff, and it was pretty cool just seeing him like, oh, here's Mr. Esdale, our vice principal, doing all this stuff with us. It's pretty awesome just having that support from the staff. And Laura too. I hurt my ankle against Weequahic. She was always there for me, and she'd tape my ankle for practice. She'd do all that stuff for me. She was definitely a big help in getting me back on the field and recovered.
Yeah, I don't think the athletic trainers, receive, again, due credit, said for what they do, in terms of getting you guys, said prepared for the games and then, back on the field as well, Matty.
Mm-hmm. They definitely need more credit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She missed the first couple weeks. I don't know why, but when she came back, she was our intern trainer Tim too. He was great. And when she came back, Tim would always come back too for us. It was definitely like we had a lot of athletic trainer support in our school, which is huge.
It's great. What makes Ramsey High School so special in terms of within the school, the student body, and just talk about like, leading up to game day, said every week, in terms of around school, how, the vibe is and just in terms of, that buildup. Can you talk about that, Matty?
Yeah, I also have a lot of friends who don't play football, and they all say like, oh, they all treat us so well. Like they all like, oh, here, like good luck against the games. Like all the teachers do that too. Especially my my old math teacher, Mr. Bailey, he's definitely definitely a big support and a big fan. He was a Ramsey grad too, so he likes going to the games, and a lot of the teachers do actually go to the games. And we go to my friends' games too, especially the soccer games. My brother is on the soccer team. He made a lot of first team stuff. He made all state as a sophomore. He's got a future ahead of him in soccer, definitely. But going to see him play, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome just having like that connection and like seeing all my friends play as well. Like showing up, supporting them, with getting a student body there. It's definitely like the bond with the school overall is very close. It's tight knit community.
That's fantastic. You talked about family quite a bit, your dad, your brother. Don't want to forget about, I said mom as well. Just talk about her and just any other family members as well.
Well, my mom's been a very big support in me with all my stuff, with all like my sports. She'd always drive me to practice. Like she'd always take care of me. She's definitely like a big support. And my dad, he comes all of this with me because my mom has no, she doesn't want to go there at all. But my dad's definitely, he's been there for me, especially with the visits, and he'd always send me a pregame text. And my brother, he's definitely, I hate to say it, but he's the athlete in the family. And we're very close with each other. We have a great relationship, and I'm going to miss him going to college. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Okay, Matty, a couple more left. Growing up, what other sports did you play? And, what makes the game of football so special for you to play?
I played basketball. I was never good. I played baseball. I was never good. So I tried lacrosse. No, I'm not going to play lacrosse this year, and still undecided on it just because of college and stuff like that. And you didn't really think about my decision. It's going to be hard to make, but need to like weigh my options. But definitely like lacrosse though was definitely a sport that I also cared about, but it's not football. It's just football, like just the camaraderie, the bond, like just like the whole like it takes in your body. Also, like everything I just enjoy about it. I fell in love with it early in my life, and like nothing really compared to that. I've always like dreamed about being in the NFL. Like it's not happening, but it's playing at the next level. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. But it's going to be hard to give up other sports as well, just because sports have made an impact in my life. But it's nothing like football.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, when it comes to the NFL, Matty, on Sunday, so any players that you said you definitely pay attention to and watch out for? I'm just curious about that.
I watched. I am a Giants fan, but they are not that good, unfortunately. Pretty bad. But I like watching George Kittle play. He's just a dynamic blocker. He's just probably my trainer says he's the greatest tight end in the league, and I have to agree with him on that. He does everything. I also like Gronk. But like a player that's like always stuck out of me is like someone who has class. Growing up, it was always Eli Manning. He's still my favorite player. Like I wish he's still playing, but he just acted everything with class.
Yeah,
he did everything right, and he was definitely a fun player to watch.
It's great. Okay, last question is that before you get the last word is what's your advice and your message to younger kids, athletes out there that want to not only play sports in general, but also, the game of football as well?
Just keep working. The time's going to come. Everybody, there's going to be, there's a school for everyone as well. If you want to play at the next level, they'll find you. But just keep working out and just keep training, and you'll be all right. And like, if there's always put like your mental health first. If you need to step back, always step back, listen to your body. The biggest thing my mom says is hydrate also. Like, gonna have to say hydrate as well. That's definitely something that keeps us staying. Our coach's motto actually is drink Pedialyte. Coach Bear would send us text messages in all caps to say drink Pedialyte, and it works. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it works.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows it for other stuff, but like
Yeah.
we always like say, we always joke around like, oh, and at team dinners we have our bottle of Pedialytes. But keep training, stay in school, get the good grades. Grades are more important. Grades will get you successful in life, and just keep pursuing your dreams. That's all I gotta say.
It's great. Okay, Matty, you have the last word. This is a new segment I have for the athletes, for family, friends, teammates, Ramsey High School, and the town of Ramsey itself. The floor is yours, Matty.
Go Rams. That's all I gotta say. Go Rams.
Anything that comes to mind, said if there any people, said you want to mention or just, thank,
I want to thank my family for getting me to this spot. I want to thank my coaches also for helping me, especially Coach Bear. He's definitely like changed my life around. I want to thank my teammates, my best friends I've played a lot of sports in my entire life. I want to shout out my dog. She's great. And just like everyone who's made an impact in my life, and you guys are all the best. And I'm very grateful that you guys have made me the person who I am today.
Well said. And Matty, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. I said you're definitely a class act. Congrats on your success. All 4 years at Ramsey High School, and especially on the varsity football team. And wishing you again all the best, and especially with graduation on in 2022, and then moving on to college. And just keep up the great job.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me today.
Thank you.